Hey guys, it's Megan.
And this is Dylan.
I asked the other day on my Facebook and Instagram donuts or oatmeal cookies, and everybody pretty much voted donuts. So we're gonna make donuts.
And I'm excited because this is one of the first few videos I get to do with my wife here late at night, and I'm excited to make some donuts.
Yeah, it is 10:45. We're gonna make donuts. So these donuts will need to rise about an hour to an hour and a half. I'm hoping to skip that time because it is so late, and I set out my seed starting warming mat, and I'm gonna let the dough rise in the bowl on my warm mat. So hopefully that will speed up the process a little bit. So in this cup is 1 1/4 cups of warm milk. So then I'm gonna let you do it.
Oh boy.
We're gonna add we're gonna add 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast. So 2 and 1.
This first, correct?
No, you're gonna add this to this.
This to this.
Yeah, don't dump it anywhere else.
Just one
2
teaspoon?
2 of those.
2 teaspoons, right. As you can see, I'm not a cook. Here we go.
So to the mug. So 2 of those and then 1 of these. This mug has warm milk in it, like the bread recipe that I did. I just put it in the microwave for 1 minute. Once you want it to be like 110 degrees. I have a thermometer, so I don't ever like check the temperature, but 1 minute in the microwave has always worked for me for the yeast. So we're gonna let this yeast kind of just sit and get a little foamy, and then we're gonna add some more ingredients to it. I'm actually gonna stir it up a little bit. I'm gonna let that sit. Okay. So then in this bowl, we are gonna add the rest of our dry ingredients. So we're gonna do 3 1/2 cups of flour. So that is a 1/2 cup. So you'll have to double it. Go the other way. To fill in the empty space. No, yeah, honestly, now you can slide it off.
Yeah.
So 3 1/2 cups. Need more.
What?
You'll need more.
A full cup?
Oh yeah, you want a full cup.
You said 3 1/2 cups.
Yeah, but that's a 1/2 cup measurement.
Oh. As you can see, my wife is queen of the kitchen. Yeah.
So how many have you put in so far?
This 3, this will be number 4.
Okay,
This will be
2 cups. There's more flour in the cabinet. So as he's doing that, I will tell you a little bit about this. So this recipe I found, and it's supposed to be a copycat recipe of Krispy Kreme donuts. As I've mentioned before, I have a food allergy, and Krispy Kreme used to be safe, and they were the only safe donut other than like a little Hostess donut, and like, come on, a Hostess donut is nothing compared to a Krispy Kreme donut that just melts in your mouth and is delicious. So when I found this recipe, I was super excited about it. This is the second time I've made this recipe and even made homemade donuts. So we'll see how it turns out. And then this 1/3 cup of sugar.
Here.
Yep. A teaspoon of your salt sitting over there. In the way.
I think we should just guesstimate on the salt.
That'd be one nasty donut. when I made these, like 2 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, they are so good. And honestly, I think they're better like as leftovers. Like they taste better to me when they're cooled off and they're not hot out of the frying oil and glaze. They're just better cooled off. What do you have there?
Quarter.
Okay, so then now he's sneaking away from behind me.
Sorry. I got excited.
He is adding 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Supposedly the nutmeg is what makes it really, really good. Okay. So now he's added all those ingredients. We're going to take your yeasty milk. It's all foamy and like I can smell the yeast. So you're going to put that there, and you're going to add 3 tablespoons of melted butter to this. I already measured it out. So add it to your...
Just that, pour it all in there?
Yeah, to your mug there.
All of it in there?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, for those that you don't know, because I learned and I watched it with a flashlight, the accurate amount of time for what did you have there? Half a stick of butter?
Yeah.
Half a stick of butter?
No, it was 3 tablespoons.
3 tablespoons of butter?
It was 3 tablespoons of butter. 4 would be half a stick.
Okay, anyway, half a stick of butter, and it's 40 seconds. Again,
Melts it?
that melts it. It's beautiful.
Okay, so then you're going to add 1 egg to your mixture in your mug. Don't put anything else in there. Oh, that makes me nervous. Okay, then you can just drop it in there. And then mix that up. As he's stirring, I will put the recipe for this down in the description underneath this video. Okay, so now that it's all stirred up, add it to your mixer. It's fine, you don't want it to be totally blended because it's yeast.
Okay.
So then add it to the dry ingredients.
All of it?
Yes. Just dump it.
Down she goes.
Yes.
No.
Let's lock it and then go slow. So do one first. There is still a lot of yeast on the side of this cup, so I'm just gonna scrape it off and drop it in. Alrighty. Having it in my hand. Alright, so you see that pretty decent looking ball of dough? Oh my gosh, it smells good. You have a flashlight, right? One of his coon dogs was barking, so he was going to go check out and see what they were barking at. He was so funny. He's been outside working in the garage and just getting some things done this evening, and he came inside all dirty, and he was like, "Are you ready to make some of those donuts yet? Did you make a video? Let's make those donuts." he was super tickled to join in this evening and make these donuts, even though it's really late. While that is mixing up, I'm going to grease this fancy bowl and get it ready for the dough to rise. So I'm just going to take some spray, give it a good coat. 2 more minutes of it kneading. Alright, so I got the dough covered in some grease both sides, that way it doesn't get like a film on the top of it. And then, maybe, I'm going to cover it with some saran wrap. And we're going to put it over here. Oh yeah, this thing's already warm. So we're just gonna set this on this seed starting tray. I'm gonna throw a towel on top too. Let's try and speed up this process. Typically though, it does take an hour to an hour and a half for it to rise, or just so it will double in size is what you're looking for.
Hey guys, I don't do too many videos. What better way than making a donut video tonight and also having a giveaway. We're excited. This is our first giveaway that we're wanting to do, and what we're giving away is this beautiful knife here. This is a
Hori
Hori knife. Sorry, I wanted to make sure I could say it correctly. But this is a really awesome knife. I'm not gonna lie, I would love to have one of these. I know my wife would love to have one of these. But it's serrated on one edge, and it's also straight on the other edge. So
it's
if you
got
like
this little hook, so like if you've got like a hay bale or something, you can hook it. And then on the other side of this knife there are measurements, so then you know how deep you're digging, and then it's also kind of shaped like a spade.
So either way you want to slice it, whether you're wanting to chop things up or just you feel like cutting something, this is a knife to get her done. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we wanted to challenge you to win this awesome knife by going back to one of my wife's previous videos. The link will be posted below at the end of this video, so that way you guys can find out what it is. The challenge is I have 3 coon dogs. What are those 3 coon dogs' names? If you know those, like or comment, excuse me, the 3 coon dogs' names at the bottom, and you will have a chance to win this awesome, amazing Hori Hori knife.
We are going to try and make it as fair as possible. Those of you who comment down below the 3 coon dogs' names, your name will be thrown into one of those randomizers that's out there on the internet, and we will let it decide the fate of who gets to win this pretty incredible knife.
This guy right here. So, get to watching, guys.
We're back. It's only 12:47. The things we do for donuts, right?
I'm tired.
So, it has definitely doubled in size. Now that has doubled in size, we're going to come over here and make the icing. So this icing is pretty simple. It is 1/3 cup of butter, 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, and 4 tablespoons of milk. Alright, I'm gonna taste it. It tastes pretty good. Look at that beauty. Oh, if you guys could smell it through the camera. So I'm gonna cover this flour. Alright, so we're going to roll this out. You're going to need a cup. Here's your donut. Measuring cup is your hole. That's how I'm doing it. Alright. I'm going to roll these out to about donut size. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys here. Once you roll these out and cut them out, you're supposed to let them rise for an hour. But it's 1 o'clock and I'm tired. And I'm not going to do that. You guys should totally do it and tell me how it turns out. And I'll do it the next time I make this recipe. So, I'm going to roll them out kind of thick. Alright. So, here's your hole. There's one. I'm trying to do it as close as possible. Alright. So, there's your donuts. I'm going to use this to make holes. If you don't want donut holes, you could probably just, poke a hole with it using your fingers and just make a hole. But the donut holes are kid-sized bites. And they're great for testing to see about your oil, if it's hot enough. Alright, so we've got 14 donuts, 14 donut holes here. I'm gonna come over here and check the oil. Anytime you fry something, you should put a paper towel on the plate to absorb your excess grease. I've got a cooling rack here. I'm just going to set over here. Alright, so after you are done cutting out your donut holes, you should let them sit for 30 to 40 minutes. But like I said, I'm not going to do that because it's 1 o'clock and I'm tired. Can you tell? Do I look tired? Do I look tired? So my grease is pretty good over here. I'm going to drop a donut hole in and see what it does. I'm so excited. You know, who doesn't enjoy eating homemade donuts at 1 o'clock in the morning? Not quite. This is where you need patience and a thermometer. 2 things I lack. Because if I had a thermometer, I could get my grease to the temperature that I wanted. But anytime that I've made like homemade donuts, and like when I say that, I mean like, you get a can of biscuits and you fry them in grease and cover them in icing. I've always gotten the grease too hot too quickly, so then the house just like smells like hot grease and my eyes hurt. So it's always better to warm it up slowly than put it on really high temperature and then try and cool it back down. Okay, so I've used all the donuts that I cut out over here. I'm just gonna roll it all up in a ball, roll it back out, and cut out what donuts I can. They will be kind of layered because it is like the scrap dough. But when I made it last time, they tasted fine. Actually, I kind of liked them better because they were layered. But so I'm gonna do that, and then we're done. Here are the donuts. Yum, yum. I ended up getting, I think 17 donuts and donut holes. So the glazed ones are there. And then like this donut, these last few donuts are the ones from the scraps. This is what a scrap donut hole looks like. They're very flaky and I don't know, I think they're delicious. But I ran out of icing, so I'm just gonna let the kids ice these tomorrow morning with whatever icing they want. A really good icing is just to do powdered sugar and milk, and then add a little bit of cinnamon and sugar into it, and it's just a cinnamon sugar icing. It's really good. So there you have it. There are our tasty donuts. You can try a little donut hole.
That is good.
It is 1:30, so I'm gonna say good night, good morning. I hope you enjoyed this video. It is quite a process, but it is so worth it. So worth it. We will be sharing 2 videos on Wednesday to do the giveaway video and then just the regular weekly video. So make sure you tune into those and make sure you watch them. Thank you for joining us today. Take care and God bless.